and welcome back to Forged by Geeks. I wouldn't say playing Kingdom Death Monster so much as planning Kingdom Death Monster. And to start out, we apologize that we're not streaming this one. We're planning to stream it at the start of our next session, so you might be seeing it that way right now. That's because Comcast fucked our internet. So streaming right now is not a viable thing to do tonight, and we really wanted to knock this out, so that's what we're doing. In addition to me and Nicole, off camera, we have two of our other regular gamers you'll see frequently in like Kinfire or Frosthaven or some other games of the past like Pandemic. We've got Peter the Vulcan, and then we've got Jeremy, who owns a lot of the other games that we play. Yeah. So they may be asking some random questions and stuff as we go along, or commenting about the weird mechanics or things like that. This is not a weird game at all. No. Not no really complicated game at all. In other news, I ordered, at recommendation of one of our viewers, Aeon Trespass Odyssey, which is apparently another Kingdom Death Monster-like complexity game, but very different. Looking forward to getting that in and hoping to get that on the table sometime later this year, probably May, June timeframe when it comes in. And with that, I think we can get started. You might see on the screen, we've got a gear grid right here on my green screen so we can lay out some optional stuff as we go along. We've got a lot of the gear that we can acquire laid out on the board so we can easily look at and identify it. I've got all of the locations here for easy scanning of the gear, and we're just kind of going to roll with this. Our goal is to come up with approximately 4 to 8 characters that we can work with. And so why is that 4 to 8 characters? Well, if you either saw our last stream or the latest video, while we were in the settlement, we finally managed to get a situation where we completed an event called The Game, which was a precursor for doing something called a Divergent. So, if you reach 12 Hunt XP and have never departed the settlement, you may make a life-changing leap of logic, proceed to the Divergent rank in this book. So, we completed the game. We pumped 2 XP into a character using the forum. And then, using some Lumi from characters in the forum, and then we had a perfect organ, and we spent multiple rerolls, because we roll like shit, and we had a 50% chance each roll, and managed to get 10 XP pumped into the character, pushing them to 12. When we did that, we got ourselves a Shadow Caesar. And what is important about the Shadow Caesar is you control the settlement from the shadows. Every lantern year, you choose the departing survivors, and you may nominate anyone to depart, even those who are retired or who could not otherwise depart. That means people with fear of the dark or other random shit like that. Dead? No. Dead, we don't think we can depart, but
They're already dearly departed.
Yes, very dearly departed. Well, unless we bring them back to life. That's happened in a couple of our games. I don't remember how. I'm sure one of our viewers could comment on this and let us know how. But it basically means characters don't retire. So like Craps, we were worried about retiring. He's our Ghost Circer, Light Whisperer. He's the one that can hunt through that hit location deck and find the stuff to crit to get the resources we need. Well, he can only depart one more time before he retires. Except now that's no longer a problem. Or hunting like level 2 and level 3 mobs. They give you 2 or 3 hunt XP. That makes it really hard to get weapon masteries, because they age out of existence and retire before they can get a weapon mastery and add that to the town. That's no longer a problem. So now it's like, what weapons do we want to build masteries with? What gear grids do we want to build up? How will that interact with characters? Is there any specific knowledges we want to go through for on characters? There's a few decisions like that that we're looking to make. We may not make perfect ones. We'd love additional feedback on the video to let us know what you're thinking and any thoughts about how to do what we come up with in about, we're spending maybe half an hour, 45 minutes or so here, to take it even steps further. We love any thoughts. We got a couple pieces of advice. A key one that's on my mind is a crafts-like character with Ghost Circer and Light Whisper. Maybe if we're lucky, somebody who started with survivalism with tenacity. Thank you to somebody on Board Game Geek who recommended that. That way we can really dig deep in that hit location deck. Get them the Crimson set, so they get the 2 extra tokens from the Crimson set. Things like that is what we're looking to build up here. So with that in mind, Nicole, where do you think we start? Like, what kind of character are you first looking at, or are you thinking a specific kind of gear or weapon mastery?
So one thing that is common in the original game that is useful to do is to get to shield mastery.
Okay.
And the reason why is because we can then add a shield to anybody, and they gain one armor to all their hit locations.
Ooh, even without it using it.
Yeah, they just have to have the shield in their gear grip, and they gain the benefit.
And there's a lot of shield things, and normally that ability I thought was only on the round leather.
Yeah, but you get it in addition to the round leather as well.
Oh, wow.
Well, no, the beacon shield allows you to get 2 to hold hit locations.
Okay, so this is an addition, so it
That's-
stacks.
Yeah, it stacks.
Oh, wow. Okay, so shield mastery we want, so we want a shield that somebody's working with and building up.
Yep. And so that person is either going to have, generally speaking, one of the problems with shields is that they don't have great strength, unsurprisingly.
So they need to have a shield they can hit with.
Or accuracy. Like the round leather shield is 1 in 8.
Yeah, 1 8 and 1. Oh, that's going to be really hard to wound something unless we have a character like Crafts that has +3 strength. It's going to be hard to wound. And even there, the accuracy.
You have to hit accuracy first.
Yeah. So looking across the table, it looks like we only have a couple shields available. So we have the round leather shield. The symbols aren't a shield, are they?
I don't know. Where are they?
Metal, instrument, weapon, melee, basic, noisy.
No.
Okay.
It doesn't even have a weapon keyboard on it?
No, it does not.
Just weapon?
Yeah, just weapon, melee. Oh, Qatar. Oh,
Okay.
that's
Oh, guitar.
we have a Qatar.
Okay.
We were wondering about that. So the beacon shield, that's out of the blacksmith, right?
I think so. So
Yeah.
That's really rough. We
Yeah.
aren't there yet.
We aren't to the blacksmith yet, but we could plan around that, which is 2 iron, which we already have. 3 leather's easy. 4 bones a little bit harder for us. We've been getting.
No, bone is easy.
Oh,
We have so much bone.
hide and organs are the problem.
Yeah, we need hide and organs.
Okay.
Organs have been specifically the issue. So one thing is that right now we have a bunch of bone. So we have 2 whistle teeth, 1 fluted bone. We have the great cat bones. We have 2 skulls.
Oh,
And then we have the hollow wing bone from the phoenix.
okay.
So we have all of that from a bone perspective. We also have 4 broken lanterns.
So
And
we're
the
getting
whistle
scrap.
teeth could be used as scrap if we needed to.
Okay, so we've got a lot of scrap. So if we did get to the blacksmith, we have iron.
Yeah, though the thing is that iron-wise, honestly, what we ought to be doing is looking at the weapon crafter, because the weapon crafter has a bunch of weapons that can be crafted with scrap.
Ooh, that's a good point.
And, things like the scrap sword, we can get that via other means, but, honestly, the fact that we haven't looked at, getting things like scrap swords, I think is a major oversight on our part.
No, that's a good point. So, from a weapon proficiency perspective, since you took a look at those, is there any specific ones that you would want out of the scrap collection, which is, we have a sword, dagger, spear, rebar? Oh wait, no, that's not a weapon. Zambato, which is also a grand weapon, a club, and an axe, and that's another. I love that the mace is or the whistling mace is a club, even though it looks more like a morning star.
Yes. So, Katars, the specialization is when attacking with a Katar, cancel reactions on the first selected hit location. So, in other words, that can be useful from a reaction canceling perspective.
That would be really nice, specifically on the croc, for example, who likes to hit you if you're right next to him.
Yeah. Also, secondly, the mastery, you gain a +1 evasion token on a perfect hit with a Katar. However, if you're knocked down, you remove all +1 evasion tokens.
But that could be really good for that, if for somebody like Crafts to get those a couple of quick evasion tokens, and then back off and just do the hit location back.
Yeah. Also, we aren't going to have time to do it, but getting Fist and Tooth Mastery on any character gives them additional +2 accuracy and +2 strength permanently for a month.
So there is an option there. There's a new piece of gear, the Crimson Pearls. On arrival, gain 3 bleeding tokens. Your Fist and Tooth attacks gain a strength for each of your bleed tokens.
Okay.
So it would give Fist and if we If we wanted to play dangerously, give somebody the full Crimson gear set and the Crimson Pearls, they will go in with a max bleeding token of 6 bleeding token, and they'll start with 5. We could give them a bandage or somebody a bandage to try to heal them up a bit, but with 5 bleeding tokens, with Fist and Tooth, what is that? That's 5 strength, so it becomes a 2-8-5. So they can at least wound easier with Fist and Tooth.
Yeah.
It becomes possible.
Super dangerous, though.
Yeah, that is super dangerous. That's one of those, we'll bring a baby out, have them fight song singers.
Or maybe if you had a character that was about to die and you wanted to get rid of.
No, the problem is we're trying to build the weapon mastery, so we don't want them to die. But having a character that we don't care about, willing to take the risk and just send them out maybe as the scout, like the scout could be a good role for that. Except then we lose the Grimjaw, which gives us an extra monster resource.
Yeah, the dagger is also interesting.
Okay, so there is a scrap dagger. Why is the dagger interesting?
Don't need the scrap dagger. We've got a better option. What we want is either the Master Bone Dagger or the Dreamkeeper Knife.
We also have the Grimjaw, which counts as a dagger.
Yes, but these are their seed patterns.
Oh.
They're not that hard to get.
Okay, pass them to me, and I'll put them on screen. Oh, Savage Razor Sharp. What does that do?
So, Razor Sharp, there was supposed to be a die in the Gambler's box.
There is.
Okay, a 6-sided die?
Yes, I don't know where it went, but we've got 2 of them.
Okay, so that is used for Razor Sharp weapons. When you're attacking with a Razor Sharp weapon, you roll the Razor Sharp die, and then add that to your wound attempts.
Okay, that's pretty... Wound? Just
So,
the strength or how many wounds you deal?
2 wound attempts.
Oh, okay, so strength.
Yes.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, these are 2 good. And what do we need to make each of these?
So the Dreamkeeper Knife, we need a Survivor with Insight and a Perfect Bone. We have both of those.
Oh.
We also need 1 bone and 1 organ from the Crimson Crocodile.
Okay, so the next time we fight the Crimson Croc, we can get those.
Yes, we do have an Eye of the Immortal, which is an organ, but we might want to use that to make a specific piece of gear with the crocodile.
Yep.
In any case, that's how we get the Dreamkeeper Knife. All we need beside the Perfect Bone and that stuff is a Survivor with Insight. So this is absolutely trivial to get as long as we can get the things from the Crimson Crocodile, which we're going to hunt at level 2 anyway.
Yep.
Other than that, there is the Master Bone Dagger. This is more problematic. And actually, this is why we may want to either get the Dreamkeeper Knife first, or possibly the Scrap
Dagger.
The Scrap Dagger, or we could just put it on the Grimjaw person.
Scrap Dagger is super easy, by the way. It's just a bone and a scrap.
Yeah, most of the weapons are actually pretty easy. That's why I was disappointed that we weren't looking at them.
Yeah.
So in any case, for that we also need a Perfect Bone.
Okay.
We also need a perfect organ, and a skull, and a bone dagger, which we already have.
Okay, so the problem is getting that organ and not using it to make another broken character.
Yeah, but we don't really need a second Shadow Caesar, technically speaking.
As long as we keep enough people that are older than him in town.
Yeah, and then we also need a dagger specialist with 5+ ranks. So somebody has to start learning dagger if we want to get the Master Bone
Which we
Dagger.
already started somebody.
Yeah, so the Master Bone Dagger is razor sharp and persistence.
Yep, and impeccable, which is when you roll natural ones on wound attempt, you get a reroll.
Yes.
Which would really help us. You.
Our numbers are about the same, man, I thought.
No, I'm much worse. You've rolled
You've
rolled 42 ones and 30 10s. I've rolled 51 ones and 33 10s.
Look at the shit talking. Okay, so the nice thing about persistence, if you're a special rule on a perfect hit gain plus X survival.
Okay, so now let's start then with the Dreamkeeper, because that's more likely we're to get.
Yep, and it doesn't really cost as much aside from that perfect bone.
Yeah, so it's a 3/5/3, really good weapon.
Mm-hmm.
What gear do we build around it? Like, this feels ideal for a luck character.
Yeah.
Because the sideways blues with a luck charm, it's perfect. That gives us 1 blue hookup already. Now we just need 1 more. To that end, our options for another blue hookup that are relatively easy would be a bandage. Boom, we're done. And that's a solved problem there.
Oh, but then there's the luck charm. Or the blue charm.
Oh yeah, we could do a blue charm. That would also solve it. And
Well, we wouldn't put the blue charm there.
no, of course not. But if we manage to get 5, then when you draw the trap, roll a d10 on a 6+, discard the trap and reshuffle the deck. Okay, let's see if we can get a character with 5 blues using these. That feels like a really good...
Yeah, that's kind of a broken kind of a thing.
Yeah, and that's what we want. So, fecal salve or bandage, which do you think you would prefer to have?
Fecal salve isn't that good, but we already have one.
Okay, so I'll tentatively say, well, the bandage, though, comes with a green down, so just for sake of argument, I'm going to put that there because it gives us another hookup potential.
Okay.
Now, this character needs armor. So, let's assume we've got that. We can fit 5 pieces of armor now.
Yep.
What would be the armor that could get us? We would need 2 additional blue hookups from the armor. Rawhide has 1.
We can get, okay, so move the Lucky Charm down 1 space,
Okay,
and then if we put the Singing Boots,
I can grab him here.
yeah, the Singing Boots underneath the bandage.
Okay. I thought I put the singing boots out. Shit. I have gloves, pontoons, breastplate. Nope, I need the boots. Underneath the bandage. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
And then the Singing Gloves.
Where are the singing gloves? Here. Oh! Oh, that gets us a green as well. So now we've got 4 blues. We need 1 more blue hookup. And then...
When you move the Dreamkeeper knife to hook up with the Lucky Charm, you could instead put it in between the 2 ones on the top.
Oh.
And then if we have a great leaving blue,
then we'll have enough.
yeah.
So,
Or we could depart with somebody who is, instead of having the blue charm, we could depart with somebody who is who has that,
but we really
like
want the blue charm.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's the point of the entire thing.
So
in
now
any case,
we
just-
need the other 3 singing gears.
Yeah.
So we have a cap, a breastplate, and a pontoon. Is there any way we can, well, we can do this.
There you go.
So that gives us our 1, 2, 3, 4 blue hookups plus the 5th from the blue charm, which enables us to discard the trap. With our ability to look through the hit location deck, we can now see the trap and have him do the hit.
Okay.
And we get a 50% chance of not having the trap.
Okay, so in order to build this, we need the Dreamkeeper's dagger, or Dreamkeeper's knife, so we need Crimson Crocodile.
I'm taking pictures, by the way.
So we need the Crimson Crocodile, and then other than that, we also need to make the Singing Cap.
Yep.
Because we don't have that yet. And we need a Lucky Charm.
And, well, we need almost all the singing gear. Oh, no, we're only missing the cap.
Yeah, we're only missing the cap.
Okay. So we need a Lucky Charm, a singing cap. We need a bandage. Well, we don't need a bandage. The green hookup is
We need
interesting.
the
No, we want the bandage.
Okay.
Look at the singing boots. If
Yeah.
it has a green hookup and a blue, at the end of your act, you may move up to 3 spaces away from the monster.
Okay.
So that means this character can hit, and in case the trap goes off, or after the trap goes off, forever, they can get away.
Yeah.
So it looks like everything on this left on the screen right now is the stuff we need to pick up.
So it's sort of like a GEV in the game Ogre. They can go into range, pummel, but then it can get out of range of the Ogre.
Yeah, exactly, and that is insanely powerful. Like, the 3 spaces away is particularly useful on something called the Smog Singers, these ugly little bastards. Because if it's the trap, what we can do is we can hit, he gets targeted, and then there might be a dash opportunity, and he can dash, or no, wait, that wouldn't help with that.
So, Lucky Charm, what do we need for that?
Oh, right. That is, well, first, green charm. Oh, or blue charm. We need a perfect orchid.
Okay.
That sucks.
Yep.
But we might be able to look through hit locations and maybe somebody we can crit.
No.
Okay. And then what were you asking for?
Lucky Charm. What's the other one?
I think that's on. What is that on?
I have to wonder if there's a leprechaun you can farm those from.
Just an organ.
Okay. And like even without the blue charm, we've already got a solid build with us.
One hide for the bandage.
I knew that was easy.
Okay.
So yeah, like basically.
And the singing cap, we need that thing the gaseous belly or whatever.
Okay.
You were saying, sorry.
Yeah. So.
So this is one gear set.
Yeah, and the thing is that we can add the blue charm opportunistically later, given that it's so expensive. Like, I think it's still a very functional build, even without that. We could just add something like a shield or something like
Or
that.
get the guy the affinity bonus or something like that, just to give the extra blue hookup right now.
Yeah.
And then worry about that later. Okay.
Well, but we don't need the 5 unless we're using the blue charm anyway. The hookups are just nice.
No, that's a fair point. So we
just need the 2 blues.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so that's one gear grid. Now, what kind of character would we want to be using that gear grid?
Well, obviously a Dagger Master.
Yeah, so Dagger Master. They're singing gear. That doesn't help much. So that we're not going to get the ham fluter benefit. Or when we need the ham fluter versus Atlas, we can just say fuck the bonus from the trap thing, pop in the ham fluter and go out. Because the ham fluter, if you have the singing gear, it reduces the number of wounds to remove them, and we got to remove those quick on Atlas.
Yeah, but Atlas starts with like 5 cards in his deck.
Yeah, but
in the wound stack, he starts with 5 cards in it.
Yeah, but we can drop that to only needing 6 instead of 7 with the ham fluter with the singing set.
Yeah, which is nice, but maybe not absolutely critical.
Fair point.
I mean, you are right though that we are going to lose something out of it.
I don't think we need to worry about the green charm benefit. That's the if you would die on roll a d10 on a 6+, you inexplicably survive. It could be nice, but actually, that would be to send out with the guy with the 5 wound tokens.
So if you have a tank, that's perfect for your tank.
Tanks, somewhat yes, but dying, usually if you're at the point where you're worrying about dying in this game, either you're going out with so many wound tokens that's a problem. Most of the time, dying is the least of your concerns for your characters. The bigger concern is like they start getting wound tokens, and that usually happens through taking severe injuries. Bleed tokens, which means they're taking severe injuries, which means they're losing limbs, eyeballs, permanent wound stuff that makes you never want to take them out again anyways.
Okay, so by the time they're ready to die, they're already so disabled that they may not be very useful.
Exactly. That's why the one character with the 5 out of 6 bleed tokens, that's why that could come in handy, because the first time they would take a hit, they would die. Type of a deal. So it would protect them from that.
Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna have a serious problem getting the Twilight Sword.
Oh, yeah, normally that came from an event, right?
Yeah.
Which...
So, I know that there are other ways to get it.
Do we need a Twilight Sword?
If we want the Neko Twilight armor, we do.
Oh.
Full ensemble, +1 evasion. Add 2 to all hit locations. It counts as armor.
Wow.
You may pounce. When you do, move 6 spaces instead and double the strength of cumbersome weapons for the attack.
Okay, so that would be really nice, but we need a Twilight Sword. Which we're not going to be fighting the guy that normally gives it. So we almost have to get it from a hunter then.
Well, it's not a, yeah.
We almost got, well no, it wasn't the Twilight Sword, it was something else.
Yeah, how did you get the Twilight Sword?
There was one of the Nemesis encounters. Maybe the hand?
No, I don't think it was the hand. I think it might have been one of the introductory ones.
But that doesn't have any hookups, right?
No.
Okay, so that's a nice benefit if we happen to get it.
Yeah, well, it's basically armor without having to, with a empty thing. For it.
And could it also stack with other sources of armor such as shields?
Oh.
Full ensemble can. Well, yes, with shields, yes.
Yes.
But you only can get. I don't think you can. Well, I guess maybe you could have multiple shields in your character. It seems kind of crazy, but.
No, they're not paired.
No,
Oh, you got two
different shields.
Fair
Not
point.
The same shield. Definitely not.
That's crazy, yes. Okay, what I'm thinking next for our next character, Nicole? Evasion Master.
Okay.
So first thought there is Monster Grease.
Okay.
We have a Monster Grease, right?
Yep.
Okay, I forgot to pull
We
it.
have multiple monster greases.
Okay, I forgot to pull one out. Can you pass one? And I'll start the grid with that.
You want green.
Yes. So, we need 3 green hookups. So, looking at gear, the best gear to get the hookups is the lantern gear, which comes from the blacksmith.
Okay.
So, do we want to plan for that, or do we want to right now look for a different alternative?
I'd say look for a different alternative because that's really, I mean, it's nice, but it's really late.
Okay. The only realistic alternative I've seen is first aid kit and scavenger kit.
Well, there's some green stuff.
Leather, maybe?
We only need to get up to 3 green, right?
Yeah.
So that's not actually that hard, given everything. Yeah, leather would be great for it.
Leather works, yeah.
Leather works fine.
Okay, and we were taught, and leather we can get pretty easily right now.
Yeah.
So if we went with a leather set and made them our shield person, which is also ideal for the evasion person, there we go. There's our 3 hookups.
Yeah, and it gains us your bash,
Oh,
which is nice.
which is also nice for this. So this is our tank character,
Yeah.
and then eventually they go lantern gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, eventually they could go lantern gear and basically get the same. Okay, so now what else would we put on this character?
For evasion?
For a tank. So this is our
tank.
yeah. So let's see. I'm missing 2 pieces of the leather armor, so we have to get those on there. We can either do a blue or a red hookup based on other gear needs.
Yeah, there's also the other thing, which don't forget that somebody needs to take the bone pickaxe and the bone sickle.
Oh,
And this is a green hookup, so I don't know whether or not we want them to go out with that. But since we need to take those anyway, like.
well, that's interesting because if we take those, then we don't need to bring the shield on him, though we probably want to. Yeah. And that's important, actually, because the shield then could switch out to the other shield later. Yeah. So this makes it really easy. He's guaranteed 3 hookups, and then we can eventually swap out the shield with the beacon shield, so he has a better attack weapon.
Okay.
So we'll make this that. Now, what do we want from like knowledges and stuff for a tank character?
For a tank character?
Yeah.
That's kind of rough. I don't know of any of the knowledges that we have right now that I'd absolutely want to have on a tank. But we don't have access. Where are the knowledges right now?
I'm looking for where I put them.
Are they to your left hand? Right next to your left hand?
Oh, there they are, yes. Physiognomy is always good. Just they spawn, or there it is. Oh, Stone Heart.
Oh, yeah, 100% Stoneheart.
Yeah, +1 to all severe injury roll results.
Okay.
Yeah, so we definitely want a Stone Heart character for that. Guardian 2 could be good. That allows spontaneous rerolls.
No, Guardian is for other people.
Yeah, oh.
Guardian's nice and all, but I'm not sure that you want to necessarily have that on the tank because they can't reroll.
Ah, fair. Strength training, we don't know what that's going to deal, but I'm betting on yielding could be good, but we don't know what it does yet.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds like the type of thing.
Yeah.
So maybe on yielding, definitely Stoneheart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that feels like a tank character, and then yeah, so that one's pretty straightforward. Okay. And for the leather set, do we need anything special?
I think a lot of leather. We want shield mastery on that guy.
Yeah, so he'd build up to shield mastery. What does that do?
Shield mastery. When a shield master is adjacent to a survivor that is targeted by a monster, they may swap spaces on the board with the survivor and become the target instead. The master must have a shield to perform this.
Okay, yes, this guy would build up to the shield mastery.
Yep.
And it's going to be hard with the round leather, but we could work at it.
Yeah, particularly if we find somebody who's good to increase their, if we increase their strength, like the monster chief, not
Well,
temporarily.
Let's temporarily plan not to have him with bone and pickaxe, because then he can get one hit with the shield and then switch to another weapon.
Okay.
So just whatever.
Or we could use monster chief necklace as another possibility.
Where is that? Oh, gain 1 strength. He wouldn't be able to get the red hookups.
Okay.
He could get 1 red hookup, so if he had that affinity skill that allows him to generate an affinity, then he would get +2 strength.
Okay.
So that's a possibility as well.
And he's got 1 strength base, so.
Yeah, so if he got up to the 3 strength, that would give him 4 on the shield.
But ideally, we would have the shield.
Yeah.
Have a better shield.
Yeah, and until we got the better shield, we could put the pickaxe on one of the other 2 characters. And then we just need another weapon. And it doesn't really matter, just be one of our spare weapons at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have access to the easy access to the hooded knight event. I think that's part of the original thing. I think that's an encounter you get as part of the...
Or the Twilight.
Yeah, and that's where you get the Twilight Sword. There are other ways to get the Twilight Sword, but we may have to cross-nick a Twilight armor basically off of our list.
Okay. It's going to be one of those if we get lucky.
Yeah. The other thing that we have is we can also go for the Imitation Butcher's Mask.
Okay.
They need to frenzy. We gain access to the Imitation Butcher armor, which is a hybrid armor set of lantern stuff. It gives you +2 movement.
Ooh. Flip it over and put let me see. Oh, your camera's off. It's lantern and leather. 1 lantern cuirass and 3 leathers.
Oh, lantern cuirass. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, and 3 leather armors and then the helm.
Yeah.
And I think we can make the helm. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, a survivor who frenzied last lantern year. So we need somebody to frenzy. And then after that, we can spend 3 leather and 1 iron. We gain the Imitation Butcher armor set card, and then the one downside is we add the Ballad of the Butcher to the settlement event deck.
No, I can frenzy at almost any time.
Yeah.
Now, what is Infectious Lunacy Survivor status card?
Yeah, that's from the Butcher thing. So that's the thing where, you add, tokens every time you receive brain damage, and then you frenzy.
Oh, so he just keeps frenzying.
Yeah.
Okay.
More speed, more strength.
And ignore monster attack rolls of 8+. Oh, so 30% chance of just ignoring monster attacks plus whatever's normally ignored at the low end.
Yeah, though do note that if we have that on, then you cannot actually you can't use any knowledges that are not subconscious.
Yeah, and can't spend any survival.
Yep.
Okay. Still,
it's interesting though.
It is interesting. I don't think we build around that yet. Is my thought.
Okay. Yeah. Also, the actual Imitation Butcher's Mask. At the start of your act, if you have 3 red hookups, including the direct hookup off the top, at the start of your act, if you are insane, gain an additional activation.
Okay.
So you get to attack twice.
Okay.
If you're insane.
So now we have our character.
-2 to all brain proper rolls.
We have our character that handles the hit location back. He needs the Crimson Armor gear.
Okay.
So there's the Crimson set with the ideal hookup layout. These 2 can go anywhere, so we can move those around if need be. but he gets 2 reds and a green by default and has a blue option.
Okay.
This gives him the 2 bleed tokens. Craps is it for now, but eventually if we can get a Tenacity, Ghost Zerker, Light Whisper, we're even better.
Yeah.
But barring that happening anytime soon, what would be the ideal weapon for not Craps? Because Craps has to use the Blood Glass Cleaver because of his one negative. What would be a great weapon that might give somebody a token? Is where my mind is. What can we do to get him more tokens?
Qatar gains more tokens.
Oh, if he becomes the Qatar Master. Yep. So getting the Razor symbols is pretty much our only option for that, I think.
Is it a guitar master or a guitar hero?
Oh.
Which would be very, very, very appropriate with the Smog Singer's armor.
Oh God. So wrong on so many levels.
Right. So right.
I think
So
Peter
many
needs to
levels.
join our Kingdom Death games with those puns. Any other gear that gives tokens? I'm not really. That's gain strength, but not strength tokens.
Mhm.
What's the Spear of Life's lead token thing on the bottom?
It removes bleed. It basically helps people survive if they're bleeding to death. It does not increase tokens or anything.
Okay. Nope. I love the Peace Dagger. You gain an Endeavor if you didn't attack. That's horrible.
That's what's on the tin.
Any of the weapon masteries give tokens of any sort?
Guitar.
Outside of that?
Just don't like the other options, do you? Just don't like guitars. I see how it is. Allows you to cancel reactions on the first selected hit location. The Spear allows you to cancel the trap as well.
Oh.
So you said earlier you have one character that stands back and rearranges the deck.
Yeah, that's this character that we're
Would the
playing.
Peace Dagger work with him?
We still want him to get a hit. That's why we're thinking Qatar, because if he becomes a Qatar Master and gets a hit with it, then he gains additional tokens to help rearrange the deck better.
Okay, makes sense.
Yep. Outside of that, the Peace Dagger could be a good option.
Nope.
Okay, not seeing anything over here either. Okay, so no.
Oh, well, actually, technically speaking, yes, but you wouldn't want to do it.
Okay, here I ask.
The Spear Mastery. Whenever a Spear Master hits a monster with a spear, they may spend 1 survival to gain the priority target token.
No, that would be a bad idea for the person who's just standing back and stacking the deck.
Yes.
Priority target means that the enemy only attacks them.
The Chaos Elf Hat, which we already have.
Ooh, this is interesting to think about. Guardian. Oh, no, wait, he can't have that. If he's yeah, we can't get additional knowledges.
Yep.
Yeah, because the Guardian, what you do, you get a systemic pressure token.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're not dealing with any more knowledges. I don't think there's anything.
So Infectious Lunacy is tokens, but we're using the Crimson Gear, so that's not useful.
Yep.
And then there is Disorders, Quixotic, maybe? Quixotic was one of the positive disorders.
Yeah. These disorders. Oh God, that would be so horrible.
Hey dude, why are we even
Oh yes, Quixotic. If you are insane when you depart, gain a survival, +1 survival, and +1 strength token.
There you go.
So if we could get him Quixotic, so get rid of his current disorder, Immortal, and then give him Quixotic, we'd be set.
Yeah, which we can use the crystal on for, by the way.
Oh, it replaces? Or what?
Remove all disorders
Uh-huh.
and replace and put a disorder of your choice.
Interesting.
Gain a disorder of your choice.
So Quixotic may be a good option there.
Yep.
So that would give him Strength token, 2 Bleed tokens, Quixotic, Death token. He'd be able to do 5 cards right at the start, which is probably good enough if we can keep him alive.
Yeah.
The only thing that would make that better would be as if we just built a new character with Tenacity at the top of this list.
Yeah.
Which I keep forgetting. That would be 3 additional tokens.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the ideal situation, just in case a character gets, well, we could farm another Crystal Ember. We got that off of crit. So maybe we just use that on him, and then we go forward.
Yeah.
And try to farm another one when we next fight the lion, I think it was. Or not lion. Croc.
I think Rashandra was the Smock Singers.
And, okay.
Yep, Smock Singers.
Okay, so, we might be able to farm that this next time we're in there.
Yeah, though our priority is getting the gaseous belly.
Yeah, but we'll probably have at least 2 founding stones.
Yeah, some of these items are really interesting, though. So the singing part is an instrument noisy. The weapon to the left gains noisy and +1 accuracy. So that's a way to get accuracy.
Oh, wow.
There's also the pipa, which is interesting. So this could be an alternative to the hand fluter. So you were saying, like, well, we have to get 7 for the hand fluter.
Yeah.
The pipa, the Ballad of Savagery. Spend 1 action and archive 6 cards from the wound stack to perform all survivors' weapons gain savage. So I think that's when they crit, they gain another wound. They deal another wound.
But interesting. You only need to give her 6, but you need 2 red hookups.
Yeah, no. You don't need any red hookups. That'll give it 4 strength.
Oh.
So that's great, but it's not necessary for the pipa to do its job.
And it's a 2/6 what?
0. That's the thing. Unless you have the 4 strength on it, you don't really necessarily want to use it.
No, that's perfect. Here, pass it to me. We should get one of these. Because, look, if we do that with the Crimson set, it's now 2/6/4.
Okay.
So even if it's not on somebody, even though it doesn't have that, yeah, we should definitely do that. So what do we need to make one of those? That's Singer?
Yep.
Which I just went right by. Yep. Corsium. I love the names of these locations. So to make that is a fluted severed head, pink flesh, and an organ. Jeremy found that amusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't gotten one of those yet. It's just one of the normal monster.
No, we had gotten a fluted severed head, but we spent it.
Okay.
What does it mean to be fluted?
It's not on there. These are rather amusing. I'll grab it quick. Oh.
Oh, wow.
You still have them out.
Yeah. What did you want?
Oh, the fluted severed head to show Jeremy. Yay, new cards. So, fluted severed head. When you gain this, a survivor of your choice gains 1 insanity.
Nice.
And look at the art. Eats the lion balls.
Yeah.
Which we've collected many, many times, including one time when I bit them off.
Alright, so
The
then we've
cards are
also got.
nice. Thick.
Oh, yeah.
What's the. So we need the fluted severed head for that. What about the energy drum?
The energy drum. Which set was that in?
It's the. It's like the
Singers?
Singers.
Okay. Gaseous belly and vocal cords.
Well, that's not happening.
Oh.
Yeah, well, you can basically spend 1 survival to search for somebody else.
Oh, that could be nice.
Yeah.
Because while that means, like, our mortal character who can't spend survival, somebody else could make him search.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that's interesting.
Okay, so here's some gear. What else would we want to put in with this character? So they've got the Qatar, built up the Qatar mastery. We've got the Pipa to be able to, so we no longer need the ham fluter, to be able to handle Atmos and a few other characters' issues. We have room for 2 more things. We've got 1 green hookup currently, and we have 3 reds with a lot of red potential.
Okay. So then we possibly the red charm.
That is, if we do get up to 5, when you attempt to wound, roll a d10, 1 to 5, you just fail. 6 to 10, you just wound. So that can help with really high toughness.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily something that we want to have all the time.
Bingo.
Then that we could just put the sickle and the thing in his grid.
Oh yeah, he could do that.
Because we have that space. Or we could, if we wanted to increase his survivability, putting a shield in his grid.
That could be good. Also, if we do make a new character, because we couldn't do this with Craps, we could do the Crimson Pearls, which gives 3 additional bleed tokens. And basically, once he, and basically go, get the fuck out of Dodge.
Either that or we could just give him a monster chasing necklace, which would do that, but a lot safer. Not exactly, not as much good, but like...
Oh no, the reason why I said the Crimson Pearls was the 3 extra bleed tokens to go through the hit location deck more.
Okay. Yeah.
But then he's 1 bleed token away from dying.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. So bad day is very bad day.
So we also need to consider we also need to consider getting a scavenger kit and a bug trap at some point.
Okay.
For more resources.
Oh yeah, when you defeat a monster, gain either 1 random basic resource or 1 random monster resource. Yeah, we definitely want that. And then the bug trap at the start of showdown, roll d10 on a 3+ at a bug. Yep. Yeah.
So both of those we want to consider getting.
Okay, where do we get those from? They keep moving shit around in the patches.
It's all on the barber surgeon.
Oh.
We need the barber surgeon, which we don't have yet, but
Yeah. Otherwise, bug trap's a perfect organ.
wow, everything needs.
And 2 bones, and the scavenger kit is a perfect hide and strength. So we need to start saving those perfects.
Okay.
That's good to know. They're hard to get. They're in the random basic resource deck, and you only get like 5 every fight.
Honestly, this is probably going to top us out for a while when it comes to like things that we need to get.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the only thing remaining here is okay. So, and then we have the blood glass cleaver he could use for right now, instead of the Pipa.
Okay.
So now the only remaining question is like, what if anything else we would put in his gear grid? You were saying a shield.
yeah, and monster grease.
Oh yeah.
Those
Yeah.
are the obvious
Or
things
one
to
of the
do.
pick or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's really easy.
And then we may want to consider filling out a rawhide gear set, since it enables us to regain survival. So in that case, we need
Lots of hide.
no, we just need the shoes and the pants.
Oh, really? We've got everything else?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, right, because we want to be able to stack the AI deck. So I will just lay out a rawhide set, and then we'll decide what else we want to mix with this.
Yeah.
And then we're pretty much done. And then what kind of character we want with rawhide. So unfortunately, 2 of these have no hookups. So we've got a red and a blue currently. What else would this, like, what's a weapon we really want to put on that we haven't found a character for yet?
Spear of Life is nice, but we need and we can technically use these if we wanted to.
Spear of Life and finger darts?
Yeah.
Oh, and we need a green hookup.
Yeah.
Oh, well that handles...
That's the green hookup.
Oh, okay. We could also, for the green hookup, there was something else I was looking at. First aid kit, that gives us 3 survival on arrival.
That's hard, though. First aid kit is hard to make, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's... Leather and a perfect bone. It's also barber surgeon. So that covers our organ, hide, and bone.
Okay.
So that might be an option. And that's a removing negative tokens or bleeding.
But we're already using the perfect mode for the Dreamkeeper next, so we need more
Yeah,
perfect
another
mode.
one. Yeah, so we don't want to bet on that. Zambato, but we were already using the Spear of Life. Seeing if any other accessories is where my brain is. Nope, not seeing anything with a right hookup for green.
Yeah.
Spinning sword. I think that'd be better than finger darts.
Yeah, and we have one of those already.
Yeah, so that's a better option than finger darts,
It's ranged attacks.
but it's still 2 evasion on ranged attacks.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not saying it's bad, but
I've got one over here. Okay, then we have 2 open spots. First thought is always monster grease.
Monster Grease is always good, and then there's also the possibility of just hooking up, like, we need to take the sickle and the pickaxe out.
Yeah.
So,
Now we've got 2 characters that have a little bit of space to do others, and eventually it's a scavenging kit and bug trap.
Yep.
So those will fill out the 4 open spaces.
Yep.
Okay, let me get. I didn't take a picture of the crimson set because it wasn't really different.
okay.
Okay, I think that's our 4 gear sets we're going for.
Yeah.
And then eventually we'll swap out the tank with lantern.
Yeah.
Instead of leather. And okay. So I think that's pretty good. And it sounds like from our character builds, the main thing we want is we want to make a new crafts that doesn't have the 1 less bleed token and instead has tenacity as his main skill. I can't remember what crafts' main skill is right now.
It's, he is Death Collector.
Oh, right. And eventually we want to send out somebody with crafts to just die.
I
Seriously.
love Kingdom Death Monster.
I want Death Collector too.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Okay, so I
So
think
he'll have to give up his Crimson Armor to somebody else with that 1 bleed token.
Yep.
And then that person's just like, you know, what was the thing that gave somebody a priority? Oh, no, we'd have to use the spear. But otherwise, like, that would be funny. Just, you know, hey, I'm right here. Guys, why am I supposed to do this? Oh, no, it's a, you know, a rite of passage. It's very important.
and look, you've got really good gear.
Uh-huh,
And we could even pick up the Crimson Pearls and throw them on him.
uh-huh.
Okay, well, thank you very much for joining us, and we're looking forward to trying to build all this crap. Have a good